Vatican is a very small independent city-state with a small population of around 1,000 people. It covers an area of only 100 acres to call itself the smallest city-state on the earth. This city-state came into existence long back in 1929 by Lateran Treaty. Vatican is actually composed of two entities, which are Holy See and the Vatican City-State. And in general, Vatican is not the sovereign country. Rather, its sovereignty is held by Holy See. Situated in the heart of Rome, the smallest and beautiful city-state is a monarchical state that is ruled by the Pope. This city carries a rich culture that has world-famous sculptures, paintings, and more. Some of the very popular sites of Vatican are Vatican Museum, Sistine Chapel, and St. Peter's Basilica. It is true that Vatican, the independent city-state, is said to be the richest city in the world. But the debate is how rich is this city, and what is the actual wealth size. This part is discussed below in more details. How much wealth Vatican have? Vatican's wealth is so huge that it's not actually possible to assess. So even though we have heard a lot about the vast wealth of this city-state, but it is really hard to come out with an exact figure. Already mentioned that Vatican is composed of Vatican City, State, and Holy See. And as per estimation by Forbes, Vatican's wealth is nominal and measurable. It counts to hundreds of millions, actually considering all the various funds and entities' investment. But it is in fact Holy See that maintains a huge amount of wealth, acting as the central point for the Catholic Church all across the world. It is true that the economic conditions and finances are slowly changing, but the Vatican City still continues to be the richest state in the world, and it is never broken. As per an estimation during 1965 by the Time magazine, the wealth of Vatican was tens billions of dollars. Later, in 2015, another estimate suggested that the Vatican Bank hold an amount of $8 billion, so the overall wealth will be much higher. The city-state has much in store which is not really possible to assess. For example, the gold-laden palatial church, the excellent artwork by Michelangelo and Raphael, etc., have a much higher value, and also they will never be sold off actually. Vatican City owns huge number of churches across the globe. It also owns numerous religious buildings that have several historical precious treasures that serve 1.2 billion Catholics. Coming to the Vatican Bank, it owns around $65 billion of assets on behalf of 17,400 customers. This estimation is according to an article in IBT in 2014. The bank also owns $764 million equity, and it has reserves gold worth $20 million with the US Federal Reserve. However, the Vatican Bank news came to light several times for several scandals over the past years. It was accused for funding all those priests trapped in the sex abuse case and also lending money to the fraud and criminals. So the above-mentioned figure is actually an average and estimated amount. The real net balance of the bank is hard to calculate. Now the question will rise on many minds that what is the source of income and revenue of this smallest of the smallest city-state? The first thing that made the Vatican City a very rich city-state is the number of Catholic churches all over the world under them. And then, that very precious and valuable sculpture, artwork by renowned people like Michelangelo and Raphael. And of course, the Vatican Bank, which hold huge amount of asset in various ways. Anyways, these are fixed asset and are not able to assess. The main source of income is donation. Yes, the Catholics are big donor and they donate a great part of their income to the churches. Also, there are corporate donors, government grants, and the church's own investment concept. As per a study, the American Catholics make a donation of $10 in a week. There are almost 85 million North American, so on an average, the Catholic Church can earn almost $850 million in a week. This is only the individual Catholic's donation, while the corporate donation is not included here. Other sources of income include stamp and the memento sales, museum admission fee, etc. Vatican issue their own euros, passport, and the license, print their own stamp, and operates their own media outlet. The only thing that lacks this rich city-state is the taxation. Here are some interesting facts about the Vatican City. This is the smallest city-state on the planet. This state came into existence back in 1929 after the war between Catholic Church and the Italian government. The church received a compensation of $92 million after the settlement. Even though the church was ruled by the Pope, but they still used to live in Lateran Palace across Rome, and it was in 14th century when they started living in Vatican. The population of Vatican is 1,000, but most of them, around 600 people, live in abroad. Vatican has a telescope in Tucson, Arizona, which is a research center. So even though the size of the city is really very small, it practices a rich culture and has a very rich economy. Its size is compared with the Central Park of New York. Vatican City has a size of 1/8 of the Central Park of New York. And it was once claimed that Vatican is broken up. But this is actually wrong, and the economic situation of the state is much better than we thought. Its richness can't be compared with anything.